Hi, this is the Travel Ball Dad. I'm sitting here with Bill Lennon, CEO and co-founder for a pretty cool application I ran across called Groundwork. And as a Travel Ball Dad, I try to stay on top of the technology and what's cool out there to help not only my teams, but talk about other things that might help other people and parents. But Groundwork is a pretty amazing technology that is out on the West Coast, but available everywhere. And they've just gotten going here in the last several months. So, Bill, welcome to the conversation.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. So, Groundwork. Tell the followers of the Travel Ball Dad exactly the inspiration behind it, as well as a little bit about the product itself and the benefits that it creates.
Yeah, so the inspiration for this was solving a problem that my co-founder, James, was experiencing as a parent and seeing the problems that the coaches of his children's travel teams were facing as organizers of teams trying to collect money. And so the inspiration was we were actually sitting down, catching up, and he got a call from the coach of his oldest son's travel baseball team. And he said, James, hey, I didn't get your check last week, and can you get it to me? And James had actually written the check and gave it to his son, and asked him to give it to the coach at practice, and they ended up finding it in his pants pocket in the wash. And so now James is getting a call from the coach, and he has to get this money, a couple $100 to the travel baseball team because they need it to run. And now he needs a convenient way to do it. And so that's sort of when the light bulb went off as two technology entrepreneurs. We said, well, one, why are you still paying with a paper check? No one does that anymore. Mm-hmm. And, two, why isn't there a convenient way for you to pay electronically? And then as we got into it, we started calling all the coaches of his, children's, current and former travel teams and rec teams. And we asked them the same question. How do you do payments? And they said, it's a nightmare. It's complete chaos. I don't have a good system, and it's my biggest problem. I spend way too much time doing it. It's not why I am running this team. I'm running this team because I love the sport. Mm-hmm. I love training young athletes. I love, building them into better people. And I have to collect this money to get by because we have to pay for tournaments and facilities and equipment and coaches. And it's a huge pain. I'm spending 50 hours or more per season collecting money. I'm constantly calling parents, reminding them. And after we talked to, 50 organizers, we walked away with the conclusion that we can do this. We can solve this problem, and we can take that problem away, that burden of collecting money, so that parents have a convenient way to pay. They always know what they owe and when, and organizers get paid on time. And that way they can run their program effectively, and they can spend more time with the kids, more time on the field, more time doing the important stuff. And so that was the inspiration for the product. And so then came the solution. And James and I brought together a few people from our network who we'd worked with in the past who are really, really good, both at software development, UI, UX design, and we built this solution. And the solution is pretty simple. It's one, we give organizers a really easy way to stay organized, to organize their payments by teams and by players. And product and product design are, our number one, our most important credence here. We have to get that right. It has to be super, super easy and intuitive to do. And so we give organizers a really clear way to stay organized, and we give parents a convenient way to pay online. And then from there, we automate everything. We automate all the reminders to parents to sign up, about upcoming payments, about past due payments, about electronic payments that fail. And we give parents a convenient way to pay online. So they can sign up, they can choose to pay all up front, or they can enroll in auto pay throughout the season and be billed automatically and receive all of these automatic reminders. Parents stay in full control. They can log in at any time and stop a payment or change their payment method. So we really wanted to take all the friction away from this whole process so that everyone can spend more time on the important stuff and not be worrying about writing a paper check or remembering to write a paper check.
Aside from the ease of the process itself, parents understanding what balances they have, I think is a huge asset. And, that goes a long way. And if I've got an ability to say, hey, I owe $500 on my account and hit pay here, or schedule a monthly payment or a quarterly payment, that goes a long way. But just the ability to see what is my account balance. And if, you touched on a payment failing, I've had both those scenarios happen. And then you get a call to say, hey, how come you guys owe double this month because last month's failed? Did you know about that? Well, no, we didn't, because the expiration date on the credit card was wrong, and we had to make it up, which is fine, but it just eliminates those hassles in a sense. So that's pretty strong.
Yes. Well, yeah, we found the same thing, that most of the time parents don't know what they owe or when. Most parents are well-meaning. They want to pay on time. They don't know what they owe or when, and they're super busy. They've got multiple kids. They've got jobs, or doing a million things, and it's a poor communication. And so there needs to be a system for everyone to stay organized, and we need to take the burden of reminding and communication off of the organizer and automate that for them. And so everyone, knows what they owe and when, and have a convenient way of paying easily on time. And that's what we do.
Gotcha. Well, you guys are obviously a business, and every business has to make money, right? That's why you're here.
That's right.
So the pricing model for the product, can you explain that a little more so the followers can understand that?
Yeah, so we do something unique. As we learned about this market, and we learned about the unique constraints, and we looked at what was out there, our goal was to create a win-win-win. We wanted a win for organizers. They had a cost-effective way of collecting online, automatically. We wanted a win for parents. They have also a cost-effective way of paying online. And we want to win for us that we can actually build a business out of this. So we've set it up so that teams that collect through Groundwork pay 2% plus 30 cents on all the electronic transactions. So whatever goes.
That's very similar to any credit card transaction, right? I mean, any credit card processing company is going to charge the same thing.
It's the same structure. In fact, it's actually lower than what you would get with a PayPal. So PayPal intro rates are 2.9%.
Wow.
And here's how we can actually do that. So when the parent signs up to pay, they have two options. They can pay with their bank, and they pay no additional cost. It's free for them in that sense. And if they want to pay with a card, then we pass on additional card processing costs to them. So they have the convenience of paying by a card, and they also have a free way to pay, and it keeps the cost as low as possible for the team.
That's pretty cool. Well,
so it's sort of like a Venmo setup.
Oh, it's phenomenal. And I saw there's a basic package. Is that more along the lines of account management perspective?
Right. So this is the aspect of, we want to keep you organized. So you can go and sign up for a Groundwork account, and there's no setup fee, there's no subscription, there's no contract. It's just like signing up for a PayPal account. And you can use this to stay organized. So you can create teams. Most organizations have multiple age groups, multiple teams, maybe even multiple levels of skill at each age group. And you can add players to each team. And you can easily set up payment schedules for each player. You can set up a payment schedule that is the default and gets applied to everyone. And you can even go customized for individual players in the sense of, if some players are on scholarship, full or partial, or you want to delay payments for some people and not for others, you can totally customize that, and you get real-time reporting of what's been paid and what hasn't. And so through the app, you can actually record offline cash and check payments. So you can use our app just to stay organized. You'll never pay a dime. And you have all the benefits of the reporting that we provide, and you stay organized, because that was a big issue that we discovered as well for these teams, is they didn't have a system, or they were doing it out of a spreadsheet. And when you get to a certain size, beyond 2 teams, it's totally unmanageable, because you have to be flexible when you're running a team to accommodate different parents' financial situations. Some people can't make the payment this month, but they'll do it next month, or this player's on a scholarship, and to try and keep that all in your head is impossible, and to try and do it on a spreadsheet is quite difficult as well.
Is the application browser-based only, or do you have an app for it? How does that work?
Yeah, so the application is entirely browser-based, and It's all mobile friendly. So if you load it up on a phone, it's responsive and looks great. And our goal was to give the organizers a very powerful but easy to use tool. And with parents, we want to give them a very easy way to sign up and to manage their payments. So our experience with parents is everyone signs up at the beginning of the season, and a handful of people will come back and update their payment method or stop a payment and resume it later. But most people set it up and it's on autopilot for the rest of the season. They sit back, they get the automatic email reminders, they know when they're going to be billed, and that's that. And so we made the parent sign up as easy as possible, and it's a 30 to 60 second sign up process for parents, and then they can access their account later on if they need to, and most just don't need to.
Cool. Before we got going, just for everyone's knowledge, I'm in the IT industry, and I asked Bill a couple questions around the application. And we live in a world today where security is prevalent. Breaches happen quite often, and it was quite refreshing to hear from Bill some of the extra measures they've taken to help eliminate those security concerns. And at the end of the day, this is a financial process that's taking place, and the last thing you want is for your information to be in the hands of someone that it shouldn't be in. So just from a Travel Ball Dad certification perspective, it's pretty cool to know that they've gone down that path and are protecting everyone's data as best they can, and that means a lot as well.
Thank you.
So what's coming down the path for Groundwork as far as future product possibilities? Are you guys working on something special that you can share with the followers?
Yeah, so our goal is to make this process as easy as possible. So things that we're working on next are integrating SMS, so that you as a parent can sign up using only your mobile number. You receive SMS alerts, before you're billed, or if you need to update your card details, and you can log in with just your mobile number. So it's making it even easier for parents to sign up, and also more accessible for some parents. So depending on what part of the United States you're in, some parents just don't use email, and a mobile phone and SMS is the easiest way to sign up. So that's coming down the road, and it'll also make signing up at sort of registration night a lot easier as well. Everyone can access their phone and get text messages. So that's something we're really excited about. That's coming down the pike.
What about future integrations with existing team applications that schedules and things of that nature? Is there any type of synergies as it relates to that?
Yeah, so that's something we definitely want to do. So we are going to be a payments solution for our entire life. We have no intention to be the whole suite of products. In fact, we see a big opening in the market for just a payment solution that's made for youth sports teams. So PayPal doesn't quite fill that need, and in a lot of cases, a sports engine and a league apps, great pieces of software, but they're just too much, and people don't want all of that, and they just want a payment solution. Or some people want a very specialized payment solution that's very powerful and intuitive, and they adopt us. So our goal is to be a complement to everything out there and not a substitute. And we want to integrate and play nicely with everyone. So, things that I would like to do are integrate with TeamSnap, so that you can use your TeamSnap login to sign up with Groundwork. Same with Sports Engine, or as an organizer, you can connect your Sports Engine account to your Groundwork account, and you can import your rosters and get set up that way. Mm-hmm. And
a lot of value there.
Exactly.
Well, let me ask you this. In finishing up the conversation, what have been some of the biggest surprises you guys have found during your research and to this point that you didn't think you'd run up against? Can you think of any off the top of your head? Is there anything that was surprising, that with all the the data analytics and focus groups, things of that nature, that you thought sure shooting that it would be one way, but it came to be the other?
Yeah, I think the biggest surprise is when we first ran into this, I was shocked that there wasn't a solution. And as we got to know the market more, and we looked at a lot of the technology in this space, mostly these league management tools, Sports Engine and whatnot, what shocked me was the payment solution was not very effective for the travel and club teams. So our sweet spot is catering to these travel and club teams where the fees are typically high enough where you can't collect one check up front. You have to collect multiple checks throughout the season. And that means you're collecting potentially hundreds of checks from everyone throughout the season. And that's an organizational nightmare. So what the team suites do really well is a one-time registration. And that's great for community sports, little league, where it's typically affordable, $85, $150 to sign up. It doesn't work effectively when you have a lot of players, a lot of payments from each player, paying over time, different payment schedules, different needs for different players. And that's where I was very surprised that the solutions that are part of these suites aren't adequate. And that's why, we're able to have this business and this great product.
Cool. Well, I'll tell you what, we're excited to see more coming from you guys, and please check out their site. It's ground.work, www.ground.work. A lot of good stuff happening there. Follow them on social media as well. What's your, you have a Twitter handle and Facebook as well, correct, Bill?
Yep. It's Team Groundwork.
Team Groundwork. So good stuff happening. Always glad to share cool technologies that can make our lives easier as parents, as well as coaches and administrators. So check them out. Bill, thank you so much for your time. And hang out one second. I'm going to stop this recording and we'll have another conversation.
Sure thing. Thank you, John.
Thanks, everybody.